So this time of year, we're obviously talking postseason. We're also talking about end of season awards. And that was the talk online all throughout the week. We announced on the podcast who some of the nominees were for the major awards representing each team. And some people, one, felt a type of way about some of the nominees, and two, felt a type of way that we said one of the major awards is open and shut case. Let's talk about some of the conversation online. One of the narratives that came out was, MOP candidate from Winnipeg should have been Zach Collaros, and he was wrongly denied. And we've got voter fatigue in the CFL, and we're tired of Zach Collaros, and we're disrespecting his greatness. And he was robbed of an opportunity to win 3 MOPs in a row. If you can't tell by the bass of my voice, this conversation I find highly annoying and wildly uneducated. Would you like to address this first, or would you like me to?
Go ahead, DB. Go ahead, man.
All right. So, for those who don't know or don't understand, the CFL, they don't choose who the individual nominees are from teams. You know who does? The voters in that market. So if you believe that there's voter fatigue for Zach Collaros, talk to the people who cover him every day. Because for some reason, if you think they're trying to steal an award from the man when he's been the best player in the greatest run this franchise has ever had, no. Maybe, I don't know, they just watched the games and understood that Brady Oliveira had an outstanding year. So if you think it should be Zach, that's fine. You're welcome to your opinion. We embrace debate. Go call Brady Oliveira and tell him why his 2K doesn't count. That essentially you're a running back to start the year, so you are not allowed to potentially win this award. There's quarterbacks in this league who get on their knees and pray to get to 2K. This man did it as a running back in a passing league, in a passing era, in an offense that, quite frankly, needed it. Oh, and by the way, what's the best ability?
Availability.
This man was there. Even when he didn't need to play, he was playing. Zach, for a couple reasons, got banged up, needed to rest him, wasn't there as much as he has been in the past. That's one. Number two, as I go to my notes app on my phone, there's this conversation that, the MOP should be weighted based off the stats and look at the contribution to the team's success, and the individual statistics that Zach Collaros has is by far better than anybody else, including Chad Kelly. Well, I'm sorry. This award historically has been the best player, probably quarterback, on the best team. And so when we said Chad Kelly's probably going to win it because the Argos have by far been the best team, and he has been the quarterback and probably, arguably, the best player on said team. So if you want to have this revisionist history and say, well, his stats aren't that good. He's third in passing yards. He's third in passing TDs. Well, guess what? He missed a third of the games because his team was blowing people out, or he didn't have to play because they clinched a month and a half ago. So we can't just look at counting stats to say who was outstanding. He was so outstanding, he took a sabbatical. So you can't penalize the man because his team was so good. And furthermore, if we want to have this revisionist history, you know who didn't have some of the best counting stats over the last couple of years?
Who?
Zach Collaros. His team was really good, and he was the best player on that team. Thus, he was the MOP nominee and winner. But do we want to go back in time and give your boy Macbeth an MOP because he put up crazy stats? But no one was out here thinking he was the best player in the league. So let's just keep the same energy. I'm going to read some of the statistics for someone who never won an MOP. Highest completion percentage in a single season. Highest completion percentage in a single game. Highest passer rating in a season. Most Grey Cup wins by a starting quarterback. His name is Ricky Ray. He never won an MOP, but he's in the Hall of Fame. He just didn't happen to be a quarterback on the best team by far. So it's not a disgrace to Zach Collaros' legacy that he's not the MOP nominee on a really good team when he had a running back have a historical year. Oh, and by the way, Vernon Adams Jr. may have had a better year. So he might not even been, even if he was Winnipeg's MOP nominee, he may not have been the West MOP nominee, never mind.
By your standards.
By your standards. Did I miss anything?
You didn't miss anything at all. I mean, I don't even know what else to add, but the simple fact that, look, it's a combination of both. It's not just about the team success, but it's also, yes, it is individual stats. And at the end of the day, I don't want to be standing out here defending my guy, Chad Kelly, but you did. I mean, look, it's the reality situation.
Yes, you do.
No. Look, you let the season speak for itself. You see the damage that he's done all season long, the consistency. The only game that he did lose, he didn't even play more than a quarter in. There's no complaining. There's no conversation to be had here. You just got to look at the stats. And you look at Zach Collaros. No one out here is coming out here and saying that, hey, he had a terrible season. Nobody is saying that. You look at Mr. 2K. You look at Zach Collaros. You look at some of his struggles this season. And I talked about as the season was progressing, this isn't the same Zach Collaros that we've seen over the past few years. And again, not to say that he had a bad season, but he wasn't as on point as he's been every other year when he's earned the MOP nomination for this regular season. And so, to me, Zach Collaros understands what kind of season he had. Brady Oliveira understands the kind of season he had, and I don't think that anyone in Winnipeg is also complaining.
Yeah, listen, to your Chad Kelly point, this man did not start and finish a game and lose it.
At all.
If he was there at the beginning and the end, his team won. So that means something. That matters, number one. And in terms of Zach, we can look at his numbers in 2021 and 2022 and say that's unfair. You're holding him to this high standard. Well, guess what? He had more picks and more pick sixes this year than he had in those years. Those numbers matter. And let me be clear. I said it earlier, and when we looked at MOP midseason, I said, still Zach, he's still that guy. Am I just going to continue to say the same thing just because I said it before? I think Chad Kelly deserves to win the award, but I still stand on this. If I had to choose one quarterback in this league for one game, it would be Zach Collaros. I think he is the best player in the league. I just don't think he had the best year this year. And that's okay.